Daf Yomi Tractate Sanhedrin, page 50b, top of the page, the words Havi Omer. You must say that the severity of the transgression of the subverter is greater. Havi Omer Koach HaMediach. The Kal V'chomer, it is a Kal V'chomer. Uma Chenek Shechamor Misayef, Srev Chamor Menu, Sayef HaKal, Lo Kol Shchem. You must say that the severity of the transgression of the subverter is greater, since those who subverted the people of an idolatrous city are executed by stoning. This is evidently a more severe type of capital punishment than decapitation. And it is inferred a fortiori, that means a Kal V'chomer, that if it is so that concerning strangulation, which is more severe than decapitation by the sword, nevertheless, burning is more severe than it. Is it not all the more so obvious that burning is more severe than decapitation by the sword, which is a more lenient type of execution compared to strangulation? Sekila chamor mechenek, shikein nitna lemigadev uleoved avodah zarah, umay chomra kede amaran. Stoning is considered more severe than strangulation, as it is meted out to the one who blasphemes and to the one who worships idols. And for what reason is the severity of these transgressions considered greater? As we said, it is because the transgressors undermine the fundamental tenets of Judaism. Adrabah chenek chamor shekain nitan l'makeh aviv ve'imo u'may chumra shekain hukash. The Gemara raises an objection. On the contrary, strangulation is more severe, as it is meted out to one who wounds his father or mother. And for what reason is the severity of this transgression considered greater? Because the honor of one's parents is compared to the honor of the omnipresent. Midi apeke rachmana la'arusa bat Israel mikla nesua bat Israel michenek leskila shma mina skila chamura. The Gemara answers, since the merciful one singles out the case of the betrothed daughter of a non-priest who committed adultery from a category of a married Jewish woman who committed adultery, changing her punishment from execution by strangulation to execution by stoning, conclude from it that stoning is more severe. Skila chamor misayef shekain nitna lemigadev v'chula adra v'sayef chamor shekain nitan le'anshei ir hanidachas umay chumra shekain mamonam avad. Stoning is considered more severe than decapitation by the sword, as it is meted out to one who blasphemes and to one who worships idols. The Gemara raises an objection. On the contrary, decapitation by the sword is more severe, as it is meted out to the people of an idolatrous city. And for what reason is the severity of this case considered greater? Because their property is destroyed as well. Amar v'chi ezeko meruba koach hamediach u'koach hanidach. Haviom koach hamediach v'kal v'chomer machen shecham v'sayef skil v'chomer mimenu sayef hakal lo kol shchem. The Gemara answers. I feel like I'm lost in a maze here. Endless feedback loop. The Gemara answers in response to the objection, you should say, but the severity of which transgression is greater? The severity of the transgression of the subverter, or the severity of the transgression of the subverted? You must say that the severity of the transgression of the subverter is greater. It kind of reminds me of, when we read the Nesiim, when we read the 12 leaders of the tribes in the desert, when they offer they see the same carbon, each exactly the same way for each one. It feels like this daf is like that. This amud, it's like the same patterns over and over again. Very repetitive. I'm not sure why it has to keep on going the same thing over and over again. Anyway, subvert is greater, since those who subverted the people of an idolatrous city are executed by stoning, this punishment is evidently more severe than decapitation. And it is inferred a fortiori that if it is so concerning strangulation, which is more severe than decapitation by the sword, nevertheless, stoning is more severe than it. Is it not all the more so obvious that stoning is more severe than decapitation by the sword, which is a more lenient type of execution compared to strangulation? Chenek chamor misayev sheken nitna lemake avi ve'imo umay chumra kedamran. Strangulation is more severe than decapitation by the sword, as it is meted out to one who wounds his father or his mother. And for what reason is the severity of this transgression considered greater? As we said, because the honor of one's parents is compared to the honor of the omnipresent. Adarabba, Sayev Chamor Shekain Nitan La'anshe Ir Nidachas Umay Chumra Shekain Mamon Aved. The Gemara raises an objection. On the contrary, decapitation by the sword is more severe, as it is meted out to the people of an idolatrous city. And for what reason is the severity of this transgression considered greater? Because their property is destroyed as well. Amar Tzurchi Eze Koach Merube Koach HaMediach or Koach HaNidach. Havi Omer Koach HaMediach. Why is it repeating itself so much? I don't get it. It's saying the same thing over and over again. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, plow through it. Havi Omer Koach HaMediach. V'tanya medicha ir hanidachas b'skila Rabbi Shimon Omer b'chenek. The Gemara answers that you should say in response to this objection. Maybe they just have to fill pages. I don't know. It's a slow news day, so they just start. The Gemara answers that you should say in response to the objection, by the severity of which transgression is greater, the severity of the transgression of the subverter or the severity of the transgression subverted. You must say that the severity of the transgression of the subverter is greater, and it is taught in a bride that the subverters of an idolatrous city are executed by stoning. Rabbi Shimon says by strangulation. Therefore, according to the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, it is clear that strangulation is a more severe type of capital punishment than decapitation. Miragla bepume de Rabbi Yochanan nara mura sabas kohen shezinsa b'skila Rabbi Shimon mer b'sreifa zinsa mi'aviyah b'skila Rabbi Shimon omer sreifa. Rabbi Yochanan was wont to say the following braita: a betrothed young woman who is the daughter of a priest and who committed adultery is executed by stoning. Rabbi Shimon says she is executed by burning. A betrothed young woman who is the daughter of a non-priest who is engaged in intercourse with her father is executed by stoning. Rabbi Shimon says by burning. Ma'ika mashmalan. The Rabbanan nisui yitzol tzreifa v'lo arusa. The Rabbi Shimon achas arusa v'achas nisui yitzol tzreifa. V'tam amai mishum the Rabbanan skila chamura the Rabbi Shimon tzreifa chamura. The Gemara asks, what does this bride to teach us? The Gemara answers, it teaches us that according to the opinion of the rabbis, the married daughter of a priest is singled out for burning, and not a betrothed one who is executed by stoning. According to the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, the daughter of a priest, how about that? I can gain one thing from this daf. It's gematria. The daughter of a priest, 226. The daughter of a priest, that came up. Wow. Whether she is betrothed or married, is singled out for burning. And what is the reason for their respective opinions with regard to punishment of the daughter of a priest? It is because, according to the rabbis, stoning is more severe than burning. Whereas, according to Rabbi Shimon, burning is more severe. Nafka mina nitchayav shtei mitot bezdin nidon b'chamura. In addition to the case of the priest's daughter who committed adultery, there is a practical difference between those two opinions, which is that one who was sentenced to two different court-imposed death penalties for two sins he has committed, punished with the more severe of the two, and these Tanaim disagree as to which type of death penalty is more severe. My Rabbi Shimon D'Tanya, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Shnei Klarot Nemru B'Bas Kohen. My Rabbi Shimon D'Tanya, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Shnei Klarot Nemru B'Bas Kohen. What is the source of the opinion of Rabbi Shimon that a priest's betrothed daughter who committed adultery is executed by stoning? As it is taught in a Braita, Rabbi Shimon says, two general halachot are stated in the Torah with regard to the daughter of a priest. One rendering the betrothed daughter of a priest who committed adultery liable to be executed by stoning, and the other rendering the married daughter of a priest who committed adultery liable to be executed by strangulation. Bebat Kohen v'lo bat Yisrael, ema af bat Kohen. The Gemara interrupts the Braisa and asks, are they stated only with regard to the daughter of a priest and not with regard to the daughter of a non-priest? Aren't these halachot stated with regard to the daughter of a non-priest as well? Rather, amend the text and say, these two halachot are stated with regard to the daughter of a priest as well. The Braisa continues, the verse, and the daughter of a priest, when she profanes herself by playing the harlot, she profanes her father, she shall be burned with fire. Leviticus 21:9 is stated with regard to both a betrothed woman and a married woman. And the verse thereby singles out the married daughter of a priest from the category of an ordinary married woman, whose punishment is execution by strangulation. And it singles out the betrothed daughter of a priest from the category of an ordinary betrothed woman, who is executed by stoning. Ma keshehotzia kasov nisua mikla nisua lehachmir. Af keshehotzia kasov us mikla lehachmir. Therefore, just as when the verse singles out the married daughter of a priest from the category of a married woman, it is to render her punishment more severe, so too, when the verse singles out the betrothed daughter of a priest from the category of a betrothed woman, it is to render her punishment more severe. This indicates that burning is a more severe type of capital punishment than stoning. Zoma me nisua bas kohen, michlal zoma me nisua bas Yisrael. Zoma erus bas kohen, michlal zoma erus bas Yisrael. The punishment for the conspiring witnesses concerning the married daughter of a priest who testified falsely that she committed adultery is included in the punishment of the conspiring witnesses concerning the married daughter of a non-priest. And the punishment for the conspiring witnesses concerning the betrothed daughter of a priest is included in the punishment for the conspiring witnesses concerning the betrothed daughter of a non-priest. The Torah is not more severe with them, the conspiring witnesses, in the case of any married woman accused of committing adultery are strangled, and conspiring witnesses in the case of any betrothed woman accused of committing adultery are stoned. Tanu Rabbanan Ubas ish kohen ki techel yachol afilu chilala et Shabbat Talmud Lomar liznot. Bechilulin shebiznut hakatuv medaber. The sages taught, the verse states, and the daughter of a priest, when she profanes herself by playing the harlot, she profanes her father. She shall be burned with fire. One might have thought that the expression when she profanes is referring even to one who desecrated Shabbat. She too should be executed by burning. To counter this, the verse states, by playing the harlot, ki techel is not. The verse is speaking of profanation through promiscuity. Yachol afilu penuya, ne'emar kan aviha, v'ne'emar lehalan aviha, ma lehalan znut, im zikat habal, afkan znut, im zikat habal. One might have thought, even if she is unmarried and she engaged in promiscuous intercourse, she should be executed by burning. This is incorrect, as here it is stated her father, and there it is stated with regard to betrothed woman who committed adultery because she has done a depraved thing in Israel, to play the harlot in the house of her father. Deuteronomy 22:21. Just as there the preference is to the promiscuous intercourse of one who has a bond to a husband, so too here the reference is to the promiscuous intercourse of one who has a bond to a husband. O eino omer aviha el lahotzi kol adam kishu omer hi mechaleles havi kol adam amur. Or perhaps one might have thought that the verse, her father only, in order to exclude all men except her father, she is liable to be executed by burning only if she engaged in intercourse with her father. To counter this, when it states she profanes, indicating that it is she who profanes her father and not her father who profanes her, all men are stated, included. Ma ani mekam avia nimar kan aviva nerahalan avia ma lehalan znut im zikat habal av kan znut im zikat habal. Therefore, how do I realize the meaning of the expression she profanes her father? What halacha does it teach? The Braita answers, here it is stated her father, and there it is stated her father, just as there the reference is to the promiscuous intercourse of one who has a bond to a husband, so too here the reference is to the promiscuous intercourse of one who has a bond to a husband. The Braisa asks, if the halach of a priest's daughter who committed adultery is compared by means of a verbal analogy to the halach of a betrothed woman who committed adultery, then perhaps one should say that just as there the reference is specifically to a young woman, meaning to one whose first signs of maturity appeared within the past half year, who is betrothed, so too here, in the case of the daughter of a priest, the reference is to a young woman who is betrothed. But if she is a young woman who is married, Nara v'hi nesua. Afa. The daughter of a priest, a reference to the young woman who is betrothed. But if she is a young woman who is married, or a grown woman who is betrothed, a grown woman who is married, even if she grew old, and is not normally referred to as a daughter, from where is it derived that her punishment is execution by burning? The Talmud Lomar Ubat Kohen Mikol Makom. The verse states, and the daughter of a priest. In any case, it is derived from the conjugation and, represented by the letter Vav, that this punishment applies to any woman who is the daughter of a priest. Bas Kohen, the verse states, daughter of a priest.